How is it going, everyone? Welcome to the first race for the F2 season. You might notice I haven't got a Welsh accent. I'm not Ivor Bryn Mike. No, my name is Jay Cole. For today, well, for every day, I suppose, I'm going to be bringing you through the F2 Division 2 chat. For some reason, Ivor Bryn Mike, he hasn't shown up to do comms for tonight, so we are going to be doing this instead for him tonight for the first race of the season. I'm not alone. I'm actually joined by a certain Irishman doing his first set of comms for tonight, Mr. Gary Donovan.
I'm very excited, but first, I'm not going to go through the fiver like you can have that, but I think we are about to go.
We certainly are. So we've got the 5 red lights already on. You can see Pharrell Fury on pole in the Uni Virtuosi. Lights out and away we go. And of course RJW also getting a very good start. A bit of oversteer going on in the background between, I believe those are the two Carling cars. And a massive collision already for Ryan B and Alt Maverick. And well, I'm surprised we haven't already just seen a safety car just before going in turn 1. But we've got side-by-side action going on between Heated and Dirtim. Up for second place, of course, the Maltese man qualifying in second place in the new high-tech Grand Prix car, but Dirtim not managing to get any sort of move done on him at all. We do apologise for the fact that we have skipped qualifying in the formation lap. This is literally the most last-minute thing we've managed to come up with. So
yes,
this is the best that you are going to get for tonight. If I'm completely honest with you. Mix of compounds, of course, the top two on a set of the mediums. For you guys on the set of the hards, of course, you can have any particular tyre choice that you want. But a lot is going on in the background at the moment. You can see Ibo and Hartman were both side by side. I don't know what happened to Hartman. He must have had a massive oversteer moment because Ibo's now also got.
Ibo's just Ibo's got a time penalty. He's literally completely cut turn 9 there. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there, but yeah, and he's down to 18th last place.
Very unfortunate for everyone. I'm not too sure what he was trying there, like you're saying, Gary. But yeah, well, we'll see how this race does fare on. As I just also want to say a quick shout out to Jordan for stepping himself up and becoming sort of like the coordinator for this F2 D2 season. I'm sure he is going to be absolutely great at doing this, as we are on board with him at the moment in the other Uni Virtuosi car, very close to the back of Alex. I think that was LON Alex from last season, if I'm not mistaken. He is currently sitting up in P5, of course, in the other Campos car along with Dirtim, as I think we've just got a bit of fun just going on.
Yeah, with a few drivers gone into the pit as well. Maverick sped in. Obviously, they must have damage, hence why they're pitting. But yeah, I think Camk's desynced, or he's ghosted or something. He's just got past. Oh no, yeah, I think Camk's desynced because he said he's 15th, but he's just overtaken Jordan. So not too sure what's going on right now.
Very strange.
Ooh.
Very strange.
Yeah, times are completely messed up right now.
I think they're sorting themselves out now. I think it's just the ones that say they're the top 3, I think are the ones that are yet to come across and get it in there. But other than that, I think Pharrell Fury is still the one that is currently in the lead. Heated very close to the back of him. I think
he just hit him. Yeah, he just hit him.
But these two have already pulled quite a significant gap to everybody else behind. Of course, we've also got the return of RJW in the... What car is that? Is that the
Charouz? Okay. Yes, the Charouz.
Yeah, it's... we haven't ever
this is very last minute, if you can't tell.
It is very last minute, so I do apologise about all of this going on, but, you know, we've gotten there in the end. So, yeah, RJ very close to the back of Dirtim for this... Well, I'm assuming that's 3rd place. It is.
Yes, I think they finally. Yeah.
Car as well. So we'll see who is going to be able to come out on top. In fact, both of the Shrews and both of the Campos cars are pretty close together. So we'll keep our eye out and see how that one goes.
Well, it's interesting to see now if it can get a move, or will he go for one down turn 1 as he sets the fastest lap of the race. He's not going to be close enough, I don't think, this time around. But yeah, these two at the front have really pulled a gap. Already 3 seconds ahead of 3rd place, and we're only 3 laps in. So these two boys seem to be in a field of their own tonight.
Where a free wide moment going in towards turn 1, 11th, 12th, 13th, Zolra, across Calvin and Cloudy Cloud. All close together, the two dams, along with one of the high-tech cars. Who's going to come out on top of that one? It looks like Zolra, I think he was going for a move on Cloudy Cloud. I think Cloudy Cloud originally was trying to go for a move on Frost and Calvin, but now Calvin trying to go side by side with his teammate, going in towards turn 4. One on a softer compound than the other, and I believe Calvin has managed to get that move done. I don't know, they're still both side by side. Good racing between the pair of them in the
How have they not touched?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Cloudy Cloud's trying again. This is wow.
And then Zerla goes wide and he loses 2 spots in the space of 1 corner there. So he's not going to be happy. And 2 people in front of him, both on the hard tyres, so that's going to be ruining his strategy. And you got Heated as well, right behind Farrell Furry. He definitely looks to be the quicker driver at the moment.
I think Heated's really just waiting for that DRS.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing to note as well, their Tom is on the hard tyres in P3, so he isn't doing a bad job. As Cam K and Jordan go side by side. Ooh.
Cam K just managing to get that move done on Jordan, or Jordan, he's not.
Jordan's gonna come back to him.
Going in towards the final corner.
I wouldn't.
See him maybe trying to go for a bit of a dive. No, he doesn't. He just remains.
Oh, he hits the back foot. RJ gets past their Tom as well, and then I think he is gonna get ahead of Fury as well. Yes, he is. Can he keep the braking into turn 1? Yeah, seems all good. Will Farrell get him back though? Farrell's got DRS once again up to turn 4. I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think he is going to hold on to that for the time being.
Yeah, certainly is. I think. Oh, I don't know though. A little bit of a bump between the pair of them. I think
didn't catch that.
Farrell was just not expecting him to break that earlier. Now Farrell still close to the back of Heated, but now of course we've had that lead change. It's now advantage Heated, but like you were saying as well, Gary.
Oh, Cam K and Mushroom going side by side through the S section. Oh, this is going to end in tears. That's a terrible angle. Ooh.
I don't know.
They're still going.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
No, not through here. Surely not. He's gonna try and hold it. Yeah, there's no way that's ever gonna. Oh, they both go sort of deep. Cam K goes through. Oh, there's contact in the back.
Jasper's found.
Oh no.
Oh no. Jasper was just a bit of a passenger in that as well, and he's.
I'm not
gone round
sure he's got damage or not.
Side by side. Yeah, he's now side by side with Alex going in towards, coming up towards the S section of the track. Alex just has to let him go. I'm kind of surprised he did just let him go, to be honest with you. I don't know if Alex got any wing damage from any of that, because he's now dropped another place to Calvin.
Doesn't look like he does. It doesn't look like he has. No, he doesn't have wing damage. No, he seems all good. But one thing to keep an eye on is RJ. Since he's got past their time, he's gained 1.1 seconds on Heated this lap, as he sets the purple last sector. So RJ is looking rapid at the moment as he. Oh, the leaders are going side by side. Heated and Farrell once again. Oh, don't touch, boys.
I think they're literally touching wheels at this point. Farrell, the one on the inside, Heated, the one on the outside. Farrell will have that DRS going in towards turn 4. Heated's going to try and hold that around the outside. He might actually end up doing it. They're both still side by side, a little bit of contact between the pair of them, but I think Farrell with the better traction coming out of turn 4, though they're both still side by side. Some more contact between them, but Farrell does get the best of that battle as well. And now Heated maybe trying to go for it down towards turn 7. He's still holding it down that inside. All of this is allowing RJ to catch back up to
RJ is absolutely loving this.
Well, they're both still side by side. Heated just has to give that one up. Farrell done the exact same thing as what Cam K has done. And now he's going to have that DRS as well. So yeah, Heated, I mean, he just played that very patiently. He's now back up into the lead of the race. Not only that, he's now brought RJ and Dirtim, who's on a set of the hard tyres.
Dirtim's pace on the hard, you have to say, is really good. Like, he's going to be a big factor come the end, because his pace is looking really good. As Cam K and Mushroom going at it again, I don't recommend going. Oh, he's going to go. Understeer is going to push him really wide. Oh, it's nice, fair, clean racing. It's costing them a lot of time though, as Cam K gets the move done again. But I expect Mushroom to come straight back at him down the start finish straight with DRS, as Cloudy Cloud gets. Oh no. Zura and Cloudy Cloud go side by side. I think it's going to be a 3 wide moment here, is it? Yes, it is. Frosty Calvin, Mushroom, and Cam K. 3. Oh my word.
I think Calvin might get 2 for 1.
I think Calvin, he might, yeah.
I don't know,
Oh, Mushroom closes the door. Oh, he gets all out of shape. Turn 2. And Mushroom somehow is in P3. As a few people have pitted, heated RJ and Jordan. So those boys are going to go obviously to the end now on those hards. Be interested to see if Farrell comes in this lap and how long will Dear Tom want to go out or stay out on those hards. As we got a ding dong battle for P3 here.
A ding dong is an understatement at this point. These guys are all battling it out insanely as Hartman unfortunately lags out of the session down in P18. But yeah, like you were saying as well just a second ago, Gary, he and RJ both made the pit stops, and so has Jordan. So all three of those guys have made their pit stops. It's now on the guys up front, so the likes of Farrell Fury, maybe even Mushroom and Cam K. I don't think they're maybe in that battle. Oh my god, Calvin around the outside of Cam K.
No, surely not.
Already that is a move.
That is ridiculous.
A contender for an overtake of the season. What an absolute blinding move.
These three boys are giving us some battles now. If I was Calvin, I'd wait till the... No, he's not going to wait, but he's going to send it down the inside on the last corner. I'm not sure. He's going to get DRS though. He will have DRS, so it's not the end of the world. Oh, they almost touch, and I think that's Cam K coming into the pits. Farrell, interestingly, stayed out an extra lap again, so... As Jasper gets a 5-second pen for speed into the pits. That's Mushroom. Is he going to get him? No, he's not. I think, safe to say, I think Mushroom's tyres have now fallen off. As Calvin makes another mistake, that allows Mushroom back in. Now, is he going to be close enough? Is he going to send it? I don't think he will. Oh, he will. Oh, how did he stop that? But yeah, I think Mushroom's tyres aren't in the best nick at the moment. Hence Calvin's, you could say, if he stops making with the mistakes, he can comfortably pull a gap as he's doing right now. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see how long Farrell's going. He's gone 7 laps now on those mediums, while people like RJ and Heated would be beginning their 2nd lap on those hards. So be interesting to see how much longer he can stay on those tyres, as yeah, Mushroom seems to be struggling an awful lot on those tyres.
I feel like there's going to be like a massive undercut from likes of Heated, the likes of RJ on Farrell up front as well. So we'll keep our eye out on that gap and see, of course, when Farrell does make.
Oh, Mushroom gets a pen. He goes very wide. He got a puncher. No.
He might have a puncher.
He might have a puncher. Does he? No, I think he's just made a mistake there. But yeah, his tyres have really gone off. Clearly, they've hit the cliff. He's really struggling out there. If he doesn't pit, I'd be very surprised. As Farrell gets a 5-second time penalty coming into the pits. That's gonna be detrimental to his race, because he didn't. Yeah. It's like in these cars, you cannot. There's no rich. There's no overtake. You can't. Like, literally no engine mode switches or anything. It's just pure racing. And so with Farrell up who was in the lead battling with Heated, now with that 5-second penalty when he also had RJ and Dirtim all close to the back of him. I mean, here comes Heated and RJ coming across the line now, and Heated just set the fastest lap of the race. So Farrell Fury, in fact, is only just coming out of the pit lane. He's not going to be close. It's not too far away now. That is a surprise. The undercut hasn't seemed to be that effective. The thing there that's gonna, the thing that's gonna really hold back Farrell now though is that 5-second penalty. As RJ also isn't too far behind him, so I think the battle at the moment for the lead, for the race win, is between RJ and Heated on track, at least for the moment. It'll be interesting to see what Dear Tim can do when he pits and puts on those fresh mediums, because he is going to be rapid at the end of this race, because the tyre difference, especially in these cars, is ridiculous. You're talking about 1.5 to 2 seconds of a lap, so be interesting to see how quickly he can come in on these guys when he does pit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you're saying as well, RJ staying in that gap between him and Farrell as well, keeping in that 1 second gap to make sure he has that DRS. And I'm sure, literally, if he keeps on doing this, then RJ, he's definitely solidified for himself in 2nd place. Of course, with the sprint race, there will be a reverse grid pole, and at the moment, from when people pit, I believe Cloudy Cloud might be the one that's...
I think I think he is, yes. I think he's net P8 when he pits.
It might even be Alex. It'll be one of those two, because of course Jordan's also pit. That's another one we need to keep our eye out on, because he's about 6.6 seconds behind his Univirtuosi teammate. So Jordan really isn't out of this. There's a battle going on between second and third between Calvin and... I don't know how you say that name.
Yeah, VTI. We'll call him VTI. Or Doc, yeah.
Or Doc. I think Doc would probably be the best way to call him.
Yeah. To be fair, Calvin's pace on those hards have looked really well. He's making a couple of mistakes here and there, but his pace in general looks good. If he can just cut out those mistakes, he could be on for a good result here.
Yeah, he certainly can. He certainly can. I think another one that's actually about to go down now, I think we were talking about it just a second ago, RJ very, very close to the back of Farrell now. Farrell just does not look comfortable on these hard tyres like he did on those mediums previously. So, I don't know if RJ's going to wait until...
I don't think RJ can wait.
No, he's got...
As Mushroom picks up another pen. He's got to make this move as quickly as possible, as the longer he's stuck behind Farrell, the bigger the gap he can get and the buffer. And I think Frosty and Doc are going at it again. I think they're playing a game here. Who's going to get DRS? I think Doc lifting on the straight. I think Calvin was doing the same. Both trying to get that DRS. As long as they're not doing it too often and it's coming to a complete stop, it's okay. But yeah, they want to watch out for that, because I don't think the stewards will appreciate that too much. As interestingly, Doc has DRS, but he's not trying to get in the slipstream of Calvin. I think he's going to wait till turn 3 before he takes a move.
Just looking at it, he's just
Calvin gets all out of shape.
To be fair, both of these guys also have a penalty to their name, as Cloudy Cloud makes his way into the pits now, on for a set of mediums now, and a wing change as well. So I'm not too sure where he's managed to break these in for that, but Doc didn't manage to get past Frosty Calvin in the end. So Calvin now up into second place. 9 seconds separate him and Durtim. That just shows how quick Durtim has been on the set of hard tyres in Division 2. And I mean,
I'd expect him...
at it, actually,
yeah.
I don't know, looking at it, Calvin, he's already made up about 2 to 3 attempts just getting past Doc.
He's very quick. He seems to have the pace, but he keeps making a couple of mistakes here and there that are causing a bit of issues from as a Doc again gains on the DRS, but he ain't close enough this time. But yeah, I expect their team to come in this lap, because he needs to make the best use of those fresh tyres, because he's going to have a big gap to close in on drivers like Heated, Farrell and RJ. So if I was him, I'd pit this lap as Doc gets all out of shape.
And there's a little bit of a battle going on there for P12 between Jasper and Kieran. Kieran, of course, in the new high-tech car, with Jasper in the ARTs. Jasper, obviously, again, he was a bit of a passenger from what happened earlier on in that race. Was looking on for a bit of a solid race, but unfortunately now down in P12. Of course, there's still a couple of guys that I need to make their stops. It's like you said, I'm assuming you're about to say that these guys have made their stops.
They have indeed, and it'll be interesting to see now as Kieran and Jasper go side by side. They give each other plenty of space, which is nice to see, but it's interesting to see where Tim and Farrell and the likes come out. And
Tim's just come out of this now.
Tim ain't in a bad place. He really is not. As I believe Jasper and Kieran are still going side by side into the final corner. I think Jasper might have him on DRS, but Cloudy on those fresh mediums, he's going to be the one to look out for here. As I get a terrible camera angle.
Yeah, 2 ARTs, here we go. Jasper now side by side with Kieran. Cloudy Cloud, is he going to follow it? He certainly... Oh, he isn't. Kieran breaking just that little bit later than him. Trying to maybe hold it around the outside of Jasper, but Jasper shuts the door on him, and Kieran now getting that 3-second time penalty. Cloudy Cloud with those fresher compounder tyre, both him and Kieran having that DRS. I don't think Kieran's close enough to Jasper, but Cloudy Cloud diving up his inside, touching his teammate and spinning on his teammate. Oh, that's not what you want to do.
As Ryan
B has now gotten past him.
It's just shown, a bit of desperation there by Cloud. He wanted to get the move done on Kieran, and doing so he went a little too deep and nearly took out his teammate. Lucky for both, they didn't pick up damage. But the man to look out for now for the rest of this race is Dear Tim. What can he do on those tyres? The gap between him and Ian is 8 seconds. Now, he's gonna have to pull out some stonking laps to pull that, but RJ and Farrell are well in reach completely. It'd be interesting to see though if he has the pace.
There's one thing I just want to point out as well. RJ, he was within what 5/10 of Farrell about 2 to 3 laps ago.
He's completely dropped off.
Down 2 seconds. Tim, when he came out of the pits, was in that 5-second gap between him and Farrell. He's now not.
I don't think he has damage either, does RJ. I just had a quick look there, so it's all just down to himself, his driving, and he just looks so comfortable at the moment. I said it earlier on, he did look like the fastest man at the start of the race, and he's proved me right, as he's got the 1.6 second gap to Farrell, who of course we mentioned got that 5 second time penalty for speeding into the pits, so he's a bit out of contention here for this race win. It's really between what can RJ and what can Dear Tim do on those fresh mediums, as Tim's pace doesn't look too bad, but at the moment it's not quick enough to catch Heated. It might be able to be quick enough to catch RJ, probably enough to catch RJ, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough to catch Heated. Definitely not at the moment anyway. Be interested to see as get towards the end of the race when the hards start to go off a bit more, if he can mount a challenge, but it's Heated looking quite comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, well, what I was actually about to say is, looking at it, when you were talking about Tim, it doesn't actually look like he's gaining on RJ. If anything, he's sort of sitting around the same margin. I mean, he's only gained on him since I've been looking at it, only about a 10th, just in this whole lap alone, which you want to be doing a lot more, especially on a fresh set of medium tyres. I mean, Calvin's already gotten past Cam K, and it looks like Doc is also about to pass him as well, but and looking at it as well, I think Farrell is actually the quickest person on the track at the moment, despite these guys being on a set of mediums. Just looking at the time coming down from first to second compared to, well, RJ catching up to him and Tim catching up to him, they're not. Farrell's almost in that DRS.
He's taking chunks out of him, and here's come Doc and Cam K, the two Trident cars, going side by side. He's going to try and get the switch back at turn 1, not going to work. Turn 2, ooh, he's left him enough space, plenty of space. I think he might have this. I don't think Cam K has DRS. He doesn't have much to fight with, and he does have DRS, but no. Doc is going to take that position and move up to P7, but with that pen it will be P8 at the moment. So Cam K, at the moment, if he just sits there, sits in these boys' DRS, he's going to gain 2 free positions, as the 2 drivers in front of him both have penalties. And like you were saying, Farrell, okay, he made a big mistake out of turn 9 there. The gap was down to 8 tenths, and he's after losing 2 seconds there. I think he had a big tank slapper, as RJ is literally right behind him as well.
I think that's what it's actually just come down to in this race in total, and I feel like that's what it's also going to come down to in the majority of the season, is the consistency. Heated has just been consistent. Like, I haven't seen him make a mistake, as I actually thought that was Heated off of the track then, but it's actually Ivo, so that gave me a bit of a fright. But yeah, Heated's just been, looks like he's been consistent all race long. Farrell, he's looked like, I'd say Farrell's looked like the quicker one, but Heated's just kept it consistent, kept it on track, and just made sure that he's at the top. So yeah.
Like you were saying earlier on, Tim really isn't putting in the lap times I was expecting, or the ones that he needs to battle for this podium. At the moment, I think he is gonna take 3rd place from Farrell, but he's not really caught up to the speed I thought he would, which is quite disappointing, because his pace on the hards looked quite promising. He looked quite good, but yeah, well, for whatever reason, he can't seem to get the mediums to work, and now Farrell's going to be all under. If RJ can get within that 1 second, he's going to be in big trouble, because DRS is quite overpowered with these cars due to the fact that you don't have things like rich mix or ERS to counteract that. So I reckon if RJ can get in DRS here, it could be quite an easy move.
Yeah, especially like you're saying as well, with the mistakes that Farrell's been making. I mean, I think he's learnt his lesson through that turn 10, but RJ's managed to slip into that DRS, and now Heated just looks a lot more comfortable. I think, yeah, I really think this is now Heated's race to lose. I'll be surprised if he does. But another one that we need to also touch on is going to be that reverse grid pole position. Now, I'm going to quickly take a look at the penalties, because it depends on who's got what penalties at the moment. Because Calvin's got 6 seconds, Doc's got 3 seconds, and they're almost out of that range from Kamke. I mean, Calvin, he's got another 2.5 seconds he needs to make up in 2 laps time, which is doable, especially being on a softer compound. But Doc literally needs to make up another 4 attempts, which it looks like he's doing, and Doc looks like he actually might be a bit quicker than Calvin at the moment. So we could be seeing Kamke starting on reverse grid pole.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's still a play for
yeah,
slip up can make a difference.
I think we won't know till they all cross the line, to be honest, because pens just makes everything so you just never really know, especially with those guys. Like Doc could pick up another pen, that changes everything again. But yeah, RJ right behind Farrell. If I was RJ, I'd just sit here. I know it's quite boring, but I'd just sit here and just wait to the line, because he knows Farrell's got a 5-second pen. There's no point battling him, so take the easy P2 instead of trying to be a hero on track. That would be my advice to him as Ibo picks up a pen. Not really going to matter too much, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I think the closest battle, the one with the most relevance at the moment, or the most significance, is Doc and Frosty Calvin battling for P6, and Jordan just ahead of them in P5. But as we know, they both got pens, so really it is the battle for P6.
No, for sure. The battle for P6.
Oh, as he nearly goes back straight into the back of Calvin. Doc really letting the brakes. Calvin has no traction out of turn 9 for whatever reason, and Doc says thank you very much and moves up to P6.
Yeah, that was very strange. Very, very strange from Calvin. I'm not too sure what.
I don't know if it seemed like he lifted or something. It was really weird. Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's trying to get DRS for the last lap, maybe, I'm not too sure. Interesting plays going on, because that looked quite strange what he did there. Yeah,
no, that is definitely, very strange. I will say, very strange. But at this current moment, it's looking like Frosty Calvin is going to be starting on that reverse grid pole. I mean, looking at it, we're on the final lap now. Doc and Calvin both now side by side. Calvin trying to go down the inside, and in fact, it's both caught up to Jordan quite impressively enough. It's just unfortunate that they aren't in. It's just unfortunate that they've got penalties, whereas Jordan doesn't. So I suppose it is what it is going on with that. As Doc now trying to go back down the inside of Frosty Calvin.
He doesn't need to risk this.
He doesn't. Doc really, what he needs to do is just sit behind him, a little bit of contact between the pair of them, and in fact Calvin could be getting out of this 6-second mark from Kamke as long as he keeps it penalty free.
Yeah, it's very close at the moment.
It is, it's literally it's dead on 5 seconds. Calvin in these last 2 sectors needs to make himself up.
Gets disqualified, failure using both tire compounds. That's interesting, as I think he is coming across. Oh no, he's not, sorry, I was looking at the wrong high tech.
Yeah, no, still going on now. Jordan a bit under pressure from Calvin. I think Calvin wants to try and get past Jordan. No, he's just going to sit behind him, interestingly enough. I'm surprised he doesn't go for any sort of move.
I think he knows, like, there's no point really making the overtake, as he's got a 6-second time penalty. It's not going to make a huge difference to him and his. So yeah, but he comes across the line anyway to win the first feature race of the new season in the first ever Formula 2 Division 2 race. Congrats to Heated, and he will be starting 8th, obviously with reverse grids. Top 8 get reversed if you're new to Formula 2. And Kamke, is he going to hold on to that reverse grid? No! Frosty Calvin's going to be on reverse pole. It's not a bad place to start for him.
Definitely isn't. Oh, I would happily take the reverse grid pole for sure. Kamke though, he's still going to be on that front row of that grid anyway, so I hope we'll see what he's able to do when we go into that sprint race. But yeah, Heated taking the win for the feature race. of course, as you said, it's going to be starting down in 8th position, as I believe Zora and Jasper were both side by side. I don't know what's just happened to Jasper, because he's got a 5-second penalty. Oh, wait,
unserved. He must have sped into the pits when he was pit.
Very close between him and Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan was to the back of Zora.
As Maverick comes across, he's probably 14th. Be probably quite disappointed with that, considering he was quite on the pace last season. And then you got Kieran and Cloudy. As Cloudy will come across the line to be the last driver on the lead lap. Let's give it a bit of a weave for P16.
But yeah, I mean, that was a very very interesting first race, of course, of the F2 season. Galvin getting driver of the day. He will be starting, of course, on reverse grid pole as well. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how that is going to go between these guys. But I mean, looking at it, clearly, I think we may be seeing quite a few battles already emerging just in this championship alone. I feel like Heated, Farrell, RJ, and maybe even Dirty are going to be those guys that's going to be, well, are going to be each other's kryptonite at this point.
Yeah, like you said, people like like the top 4 really, they seem to be in a class alone, and then the rest followed. So it'll be interesting to see if that will continue in the sprint race. Obviously, the sprint race is a lot more chaotic, a lot more fast-paced. So be interesting to see now. They can drive well at the front. How well can they do coming through the field? That will be the big question, because they will be starting obviously 8th, 7th, 6th and 5th. Not the most ideal place in the world, but yeah, I think they'll be quite happy with their first race of the new season.
Certainly will. So I'll quickly just take you through the order. So Heated, of course, coming out on top with RJ in 2nd, Dirty in 3rd. Farrell with that 5-second penalty ends up finishing in 4th with the other Uni Virtuosi in 5th of Jordan. Doc in 6th with Cam K in 7th, Calvin 8th, Alex in 9th, Mushroom in 10th, Zara in 11th with Ryan B in 12th, Jasper 13th, Maverick in 14th, Kieran in 15th, Cloudicard 16th, Irbo in 17th, and then I'm still really confused as to how Hartman got disqualified.
I think it said he didn't use both tyre compounds, so he either went medium or hard. So
yeah, very strange.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't do well. You don't really need to pit for a sprint race, so don't expect that to happen again.
Yeah, I'm expecting everyone on a set of the hards just to go, well, just literally a sprint. So we'll see who comes out on top of that. Of course, as I said, as you're saying as well, Frost and Calvin will be starting on pole. Cam K in 2nd with the reverse grid pole. And the likes of Heated, RJ 8th and 7th. Heated only had to overtake one car. Now he's got to overtake quite a few more.
This is it now. This will be what will define their championship battles. We know it's the first round. It's quite early to talk about this, but after those 4 were really dominant in this feature race, it'll be interesting to see now, can they do it in the sprint? It's one thing doing it in the feature race, it's another thing doing it in the sprint. It's completely different. The racing is a lot more fast paced. You got to make the moves quick and clean, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Yeah, certainly is. 12 laps. Everyone going to be on a set of the hard compound tyres. Literally just around the track they go for 12 laps and just see who comes out on top of that one. Of course, those top 3, by the way, the ones that are now in the top 3 of Calvin, Cam K and Doc, all were having very good battles last time. So I'm intrigued to see how they're going to fare on in the battle carrying on in this sprint races. Of course, Alex and Mushroom getting disqualified from the formation lap.
Oh, well, they're going to have cold tyres.
Yeah, well, especially on a hard set. In the F2 cars, it's not fun. I can tell you
no,
that. No,
you think it's bad in F1 cars? You've nothing. In comparison, nothing compared to cold tyres in the F2 cars.
100%. 100%. But again, as I said, we'll see how they all fare on in this as well. Have you got any predictions? Or
I'm gonna say
I think it's too hard to call.
It is, but I think top 3. I'm gonna say Farrell, Tim, and Heated as my top 3. That's what I'm gonna go with. quite boring, but yeah.
In that order?
In that order, yeah, in that order.
Okay. Like I said, it's all down to consistency. The two that were really sort of that consistent were Heated and RJ for the majority of it. The Heated all around was just sort of that consistent, hence why he's managed to finish in the top. It's just more RJ, I think, was just a little bit more consistent than Farrell. And of course, Farrell picking up the 5-second penalty just didn't help him. But nonetheless, I think you might be right. I think Farrell could take the win in this sprint race, but we can't rule out any of those other guys in that top four. You know, the other Virtuosi car of Jordan, he did look like he was pretty.
He looked quite quick. He did, yeah. To be fair, he was easily best of the rest of that race, so he'll be hoping for something like that again. As everyone comes on to the grid now, we just have to wait.
Let's have a look and see how this is going to do. We're just waiting for Hartman to put himself on the grid, and we can get the sprint race straight underway.
Oh, well, this is a great camera angle. There we go.
There we go. So we've now got the 5 red lights on. And it is lights out, and away we go once again for the sprint race this time. Farrell getting a pretty good start actually this time. Luckily, no oversteers or overspeeds in the going in towards turn 1. Frosty Calvin on the outside of Cam K. Jordan just has to do a little bit of a manoeuvre just to avoid his teammate of Farrell. And Doc getting a little bit edgy coming off of that. Jordan and now Heated is gonna, like I said, Heated's gonna need to do some overtaking. He's looking like he could be doing some overtaking.
Jasper's round.
Doc very, very close to each other, as you said. Jasper going around, but Doc trying to hold it as much as he possibly can on the rest of these guys. Jordan and Heated now both side by side going in towards turn 5, as Cam K does manage to get himself the lead of the race from Frosty Calvin. Heated and Jordan
what a move!
Side by side, Heated around the outside of turn 6. Going in towards turn 7, Jordan's going to have that outside, but I think Heated is going to shut that door. Heated, the Maltese man, getting that move done. And like you're saying, this is now showing why he is definitely for one of the top contenders already. I know it's early on a call, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be only one of the F2 races that we're going to be commentating on. So I'm definitely going to be saying, Heated, go get that championship.
Yeah, I mean, like Heated and Farrell, who were on the podium. Farrell, of course, had the 5-second penalty, but those two guys who were on the podium provisionally when they crossed the line, already up to 3rd and 5th. So they've had great starts. Someone like Tim hasn't moved, and RJ's gone backwards. So like, it's been mixed fortunes for the guys who did well in the previous race. So as we have Frosty Calvin and Cam K really going at it, Frosty Calvin's probably going to set him up for the main straight. Yeah, he's done that really well, and that should be an easy move now down into turn 1. But default setups, so no one's going to have the straight line speed advantage. It's going to be quite equal here. So it's all about who can be the latest on the brakes. Cam K trying to give a bit of a squeeze. Calvin having none of it. And I think Calvin's going to make the move here. Oh no, they're still side by side. Cam K holds it. As Calvin goes off track, Cam K makes a little bit of a mistake. And it's going to let Farrell right into this. And Farrell might get both of them here. I think he is going to get both of them. Farrell is going to... Ooh, that's a squeeze. Farrell and ooh, Calvin's hanging in through the S section. Not the most ideal place to go side by side. Ooh, and Farrell takes the lead as Calvin straight back at him. Are they still side by side? This is ridiculous right now.
Racing. This is great racing between the top 4, literally going like nose out 2
into turn 9.
And Farrell still side by side. Going through this corner as well. Calvin's going to have that outside. He's going to have the better traction.
Oh, Farrell on the traction. That's not the first time he's done that as well. He had a moment like that in the feature race as well, and that's cost him 2 positions. Cam K and Doc both get ahead of him. Calvin's looking quite good, you know. He looked quite quick in the sprint race. He made a few errors here and there, but his pace looked really good, and he wasn't giving up that fight with Cam K. As Heated and Farrell.
This is the battle we've been wanting to see. Heated and Farrell both very close to each other, of course, in that feature race as well, both very close to each other. And now Heated, he's just going to remain behind him for now. Jordan's also right in there, so the two Virtuosi cars sort of ganging up on the high.
Jordan gets the move. What a move! And Tim gets ahead of Heated as well. Heated had a shocker of a last corner. It was don't know if he was too cautious or what it was, but Jordan and Tim said, "Thank you very much. You leave that door open, I'll walk straight through it." And that's two.
Oh,
heated.
Oh, heated.
I was on board with Jordan there. I didn't quite see what happened, but just seen heated come from way back. I see someone just went straight on into at turn 1. I think that's something just stewards might want to have a look at. I think Mushroom just went straight on in turn 1, which is not what we like to see here, to be honest. Yeah, I think he's gone straight on there, which isn't the smartest thing he's ever done in the world, but given the benefit of the doubt, we'll say something's happened. But excuse me, but yeah, on first glance that looks like he's just gone straight on in anger or whatever it was, but heated. I don't know what he was thinking there. I think he's got damage. He's got right side end plate damage. He's gonna have to pit, and this is what we were talking about before. Winning the feature race is one thing, doing it in the sprint is another, and he has made a really costly mistake there. That's not just ruined his race, it's also ruined Jordan's, possibly. I don't know, has Jordan got damage? Jordan seems to somehow have gotten away with no damage there, if that's any consolation to him, but yeah, his race is in the bin now.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. I think, in fact, the person that he actually went into the back of was Farrell. So, yeah, very unfortunate for the Maltese man. Obviously missed his braking point. I think when I saw he was going up the inside of, I think it was Tim, and also coming up towards the side of Jordan, I thought it was a bit of a late one for sure. One thing to point out as well is RJ. Now, he's already up into 5th place, and he's very close to the back of Farrell.
He didn't pick. Sorry to cut across there, but I'm surprised, because a few others have pitted. Maybe he could have risked it and stick on, I don't know, if he might not have another set of mediums, but if he has another set of mediums, stick them on and see how long they'll go for, because that damage is going to absolutely destroy his race, because the cars were quite understeery, the last cars, and since the patch, they are, what I've heard, they are really, really difficult to drive. So let alone with no damage, so with the extent of damage that he has, he's already in P9. I don't expect him to hold on to that position for long. If anything, he's going to drop like a stone this race, unfortunately for him. So surprised he didn't pit there.
Certainly will, as he's, in fact, let Ryan B go.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on here. I think Alex overtook someone as well. I think it's all getting a bit messy here in the midfield.
Very strange to say the least. But I mean, yeah, as I was just saying, of course, about RJ, you know, he's now up into 5th place, very, very close to the back of Farrell as well. Of course, all of this has allowed Jasper to catch himself back up to the pack as well after having that spin. So Jasper, I suppose it's a bit of a consolation for him. He's now back within this fight. I'm intrigued to see where the Dutchman's going to finish as well. Like I said, along with RJ, Frosty Calvin's done an amazing job of holding on to that lead of the race. Him and Cam K started 1st and 2nd, and are still in 1st and 2nd. I think even Doc might have started in 3rd position as well. So they've all done well to keep where they are at the moment. I don't know what happened to Jordan though, other than of course when he had that little once heated to
yeah, I think once Jordan was a bystander when he decided to do a Daniel Ricciardo-esque lunge into turn 1. Just wrong place, wrong time for him, unfortunately, because he was in a decent looking position. That little melee as well also helped RJ, because RJ was down in 9th at one stage, and now he's found himself in 5th, right in contention for this race win. He's going to be looking at the drivers in front of him, and he'd be thinking, you know what, I've got a chance to win this race. So he's definitely going to be one to keep an eye out on the restart. Same with Farrell, of course, as well. The only reason he didn't finish on the podium last race because of that 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits. He'd be hoping for no such mistakes this time around.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm still really surprised he hasn't actually made that pit stop.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe he doesn't have the tyre. He's thinking, oh, I know they only have, in F2, they only have 2 sets of each, so he would have used one in quali, a medium in quali, a medium in the race, and a hard in the last race. So he doesn't have a fresh set of mediums, but he'd have a medium set that would have done a quali lap, sorry. So the percent wise, maybe between 5 and 10% possibly. I'm not too sure tyre wear here, but maybe he's thinking they won't go to the end, so I'm gonna have to stick with this and just hope. So maybe that's his thinking through. That's the only reason I can think he hasn't pitted. He hasn't got the tyres to allow him to pit again. That will bring him to the end of the race. But I'm expecting safety car in this lap. Still probably find out as come around this corner here. I'm at turn 12, I believe it is. I'm not too familiar with my corner names or numbers. Yep, as I say it, safety car lights have gone off, and Frosty Calvin now will dictate the pace. It'd be interesting to see when he goes. It's not like one of these tracks where the finish line comes really long down the straight. It's quite early, so I'd expect him to go through the final corner or just before the final corner.
Sure. Right, I am going to have to go. Like I said, I wish I could stay for the rest of this race, but unfortunately I can't. Of course, good luck to the rest of the guys that are in here, and obviously to you as well, Gary. Yeah, I will.
Good luck.
All in a bit before, I'll make sure I keep on watching as well.
See you later. As Calvin decides to finally go, Cam K now, be interesting to see, will he go for the move? As Tim got the jump on. Oh, there's gonna be a crash here. Oh, Ryan, RJ and Tim. That's not the cleanest driving ever you've seen in your life. RJ and Ryan now going side by side. RJ's had a mare of a restart. I'm not too sure what happened to him as Doc picks up a pen and Alex out of nowhere. Ryan just... I'm not too sure what's happened to Ryan at the moment, and RJ gets all squirmy as he gets back ahead of Tim, up to P5. So like, it's a bit of a roller coaster for RJ at the moment. He's down in 8 in 1 minute, and then he's back up to 5th, and now can he just maintain this and push on? Because he's got the pace. It's just a couple of mistakes here and there, as Kieran and Heated's just gonna have no chance really whatsoever to do anything. As someone that's, I'm not too sure who that is, that's Maverick getting all skirmish out of turn 9. But yeah, Heated just gonna drop right now like a stone. Just not much he can do really with that damage. Endplate after he completely outbroke himself into turn 1, which is just ruined his race. But yeah, Ryan seems to have found a bit of pace out of somewhere. He didn't really go noticed the first race in the feature race, but here in the sprint he is making his mark, as Doc picked up a 3-second pen somewhere in between now and the safety car restart, which is going to hurt. And Farrell on the traction once again, just getting all loosey-goosey, and that's him losing. I think that's 3 positions he's lost right there. RJ is going to be smiling because he knows now these 3 people in front of him, he bet them last race. He's going to be thinking, I can do it again. As Farrell needs goes back into the team, as Ryan gets ahead of Farrell now. Farrell's having just mistake after mistake. It's just ruining his race. The fellow Irishman, he's not doing the Irish parade right now, as he's got the pace, clearly has the pace, but it just doesn't seem to be able to be consistent enough with it as he goes side by side through the S's. Oh, this could end in tears. There's a bit of contact. Going to try and get the up and under, or down and under, sorry. He's going to try another switchback as Ryan goes really deep on the brakes. Oh, Farrell gives him no space, and that's him spun, and yep, damage. I think that was Farrell. It's like he almost turned into Ryan there. I don't know where he expected Ryan to go, to be honest with you, but yeah. Heated and Farrell both had really good races in the feature race. Have just collapsed really in the sprint, and this is the thing with F2. You can be as fast as you like in the feature race, where you can qualify on pole, dictate the race. When it comes to having to overtake people, start in the midfield, that's where it really shows what you're really about as a driver. And unfortunately, those guys have made a few costly errors here. That's as I think there was a crash here. Maverick and Zora, I don't know what's happened there. Maverick's lost both end plates, left and right. So that's not gone well for him, as Zura does not have damage. But I think Doc is going to make a move on Cam K down into turn 1. It should be quite easily done. He's got the car ahead. Be interested to see now Cam K get the run. He's got a good run out of turn 2, up the hill, turn 3, now up to turn 4. Doc's going to defend the middle of the track. He's going to Cam K. You choose a spot, I'll defend the other. He's done that quite well, to be fair to him. And that's him up to P2, but of course he's got that 3-second penalty looming over him, so that's going to hamper him a lot. I think there's more yellow flags. I think that's Ibo in sector 1. Nothing to worry about too much, as I said he dropped like a stone. He's still in P9. I think he's, after the mistakes of people like Farrell and Maverick getting caught up in an instant, he's managed to claw himself back up to some points. But excuse me, be interesting to see, because he is really struggling right now. You can see it. I think the only reason he's sticking with Kieran is because of the DRS. It's not pace related at all. It's just pure DRS that's keeping him in. As this is the big battle. This is the battle we want to watch at the moment. Is Doc going really wide there. That's gonna definitely give him a warning. As Cam K trying to get back ahead for P2. I think he's lagging a little bit. But yeah, RJ right here. I think RJ is... Frost Calvin's got a big buffer at the moment, so if anyone's going to challenge Frosty, I think it's RJ, and RJ needs to get a move on if he's going to do it. Be interested to see now, can he get... He goes purple in the last sector, so he's done that a few times. I've been on board with him, so he's got a decent amount of pace in that last sector. He just needs to find it in the rest of the lap. He brakes, he gains an awful lot on the brakes on Cam K. So the problem RJ's got now is he's the third man in the train, so everything he does is dictated by Cam K. Cam K gets past Doc, RJ gets past Doc. Cam K doesn't get past Doc, RJ ain't moving, because he cannot get... In these cars, you need... It's just not possible in a DRS train. It's quite difficult to overtake due to how the cars just are. They've no overtake, no fuel mixtures, nothing like that. As Doc goes really wide there, he got away with that. He's got a bit of a gap, big of enough gap, sorry, to Cam K. So yeah, I think this is the typical league racing standards. It's DRS trains and just hoping something happens with 3 laps to go. Cam K, he's not really catching. If anything, Doc's pulling away from him now, as we got, I think, more down at the hairpin. Has something gone on? No, I'm blind. Yeah, I think Jasper made a move on Cloudy there, or Alex made a move on Jasper. I'm not too sure. I do apologise. This is my first comms ever, so if things do look a bit all over the place, it's because they are. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Oh, it's Kieran. Kieran made a mistake and he dropped down to 15th, as he had gained another free position as RJ now. Like I was saying, Cam K just doesn't seem to really have any pace for whatever reason. He's just struggling a little bit, as Doc dropped him out of DRS, so this should be an easy move for RJ. Like I was saying, without the DRS train, RJ makes light work of Cam K, and now he's going to turn his attention to Doc and possibly Frosty, as Jordan makes a move on Ryan there. Oh, he gets all out of shape turn 3 going up the hill, and that gives Ryan a free pass. It was a bit of a weave of appreciation for Jordan making that mistake, and Jordan probably be a bit annoyed because he was in quite a good position before he decided to Daniel Ricciardo him into turn 1. So yeah, he probably thinking what if for him, as you just look here, it's a battle for P2 really. I think Frosty Calvin might have this wrapped up. I don't see him losing 3 seconds in the few laps that we have remaining. So it is RJ and Cam battling out for the net P2 because of Doc's 3-second time penalty. So this is going to be the battle to watch till the end of the race. And you got Tim, who's clawing onto the back of these guys with the DRS. So it's going to be a 3-way, 4-way battle really. Well, basically a 3-way battle for second, as Doc has really put himself out of the equation here with that 3-second time penalty. Like, these cars are really difficult to drive, so That's Ibo again. He's had a spin just before turn 9. So yeah, like I was saying, these cars are quite difficult to drive. A lot of understeer, so penalties are quite expected, really, especially in the lower division. No disrespect to the drivers, but these pens would be more expected in this division than in the Division 1. And yeah, so Camke is just about holding on to DRS of RJ, and this is quite important for him. If he can stay in DRS and stay within that 3-second window of Doc, he'll have a podium. Gap's 2.2 at the moment, so between him and Doc, so it's going to be close. He really needs to put the hammer down, put the foot down, and give it everything these last 2 laps, because if not, Doc's going to be able to nick a 3rd place here, just because he's had the pace to create that gap, the buffer to 3-second time penalty. Gap's 2.2, hasn't really changed so far in the first sector, and a bit stabilised, but yeah, Cam K definitely doesn't have the pace of the top 3. That's quite clear. If anything, Tim's got the pace over him quite clearly as well, and wouldn't be surprised if Tim goes for a last lap move to make it a net P3, but he's got to be careful, because if he loses too much time when he passes Cam, he can say goodbye to that podium. And that, to be fair, Tim's looking for his 2nd podium of the race. Of course, he got podium in the feature race, so he wants to make it 2 out of 2. If I was him, be patient, just wait till the final corner, get the DRS and see what happens there. He's got really late on the brakes. Cam K, I've noticed a couple of times been on board with him, he's very early on the brakes, as this should be an easy move for Tim. Cam's just going to be a sitting duck, no DRS, no ERS, none of that. Tries to give a little squeeze, it's not going to do him any good. He gets straight back into the slipstream. He's going to hopefully now, if I'm here, he's going to try and get a good exit out of turn 1 and 2. Stay close with him up the hill, and hopefully maybe get something back at turn 4. He doesn't seem to be close enough though. No, I don't think he's going to be able to manage, and I think, and yeah, so Tim is going to, as it stands, Frost Calvin's going to win, RJ P2, and then Tim P3. Like I said, Calvin's been really quick. He's pulled a 3.5 second gap with a safety car involved, so like the gap could have been even more. So I said in the feature race he made a couple of mistakes. He had the pace, but he just seemed to be making a few mistakes here and there. He's made no such thing this race, and he's dominated really. So like this makes it this is good news for Division 2. No one seems to be walking away with it after the first round. Seems to be, it's going to be a ding-dong battle for the whole season. You don't want to miss it. This and Division 1 promises to be a really entertaining season, as it always is in F2. Arguably, you could say it's better than F1. But yeah, as Calvin's going to come around the final corner for the last time, and he's going to win. I don't want to jinx it, I'll probably jinx it, but yeah, Calvin's going to come across the line and he's going to win the sprint race. Doc's going to come home in P2. I don't think he's going to stay there though, as he drops down to P4, P5. Cam Case, was it within the limit in the time penalty? So from 2nd to 5th for Doc. Cloudy, he had somehow managed P8. Cloudy P9, Alex P10. Farrell P11. He's going to be quite disappointed with that. He seemed to have a lot of pace, but those mistakes proved costly for him. Jasper P12, Zulra P13, Hartman 14th, Kieran 15th, Maverick 16th, and then of course the legend that is Sir Ibo in 17th. We'll wait for Maverick and Ibo to cross the line. But yeah, interesting race. Been fun. I've never done comms like this. I've never done comms ever, so I do apologise if it's not up to the usual standard you used to hear seeing at League of Europe. I try my best, but the drivers gave a great account of themselves, made a really good race. Be interested to see what happens with Mushroom. If I'm honest, it looked like he went straight on at turn 1, so if he did that, that's probably a race ban worthy incident already. It's not what we like to see, but yeah, overall really entertaining race, both races, and it's good signs for the championship ahead, as I believe we have 9 more rounds, if I'm not mistaken, so plenty of more F2 fun. As Cloudy gets driver today, not too sure. I'd probably give that to Calvin, as he drove really, really well. There he is, celebrating. Probably only race victory he's going to get this season. That's a bit mean, but yeah. Who knows? If he keeps driving like that, he could be definitely a championship contender. But the last championship who I said was going to do well, was heated, and we all know how that went for him in the sprint race. So, no, be interested to see now. Keep an eye on this championship and see, because we probably got more questions than answers after those races. As yeah, Calvin wins for P1, led from lights to flag. Great race from him. And then you had RJ in second, moving up from 7th, so he'll be really happy. 2 podiums, I believe, for RJ, so he can't complain with that. Same for Tim, P3. Cam K, the American, P4. VTI Doc in P5. Those 2 penalties, sorry, I didn't realise he had 2. Those 2 3-second time penalties really hampered him at the end. Then Ryan B in 6th. Jordan 7th, heated with that damage, manages to somehow get a point at least in P8. Then Cloudy, Alex, Farrell, Jasper, Zolra, Hartman, Kieran, Maverick, Evo, and Mushroom round off the grid. But yeah, that has been the Formula 2 round 1 Bahrain for Division 2. Make sure to tune in next Monday, same time of 7 p.m, where I will not be commentating for your lucky you viewers, for your ears. You won't have to listen to my boring, crappy Irish voice. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the race. And then till next week, see yous.